Another tip. So Mexico, I think this has actually been about a year or so now that they've implemented this tourism tax, the tourist tax, and it's like about the equivalent of $15 per person. And you'll see the signs in the airport. You'll even see, you'll see them when you're deplaning. They're like right on the jet bridge, and then there's some of the signs in the hallway. And it says you're supposed to visit this website and pay this tax. And I'll tell you, since it has released, I've done it one time.
I'm laughing because I'm like, I haven't paid it yet.
I
But
know.
Be better than me.
But this is why I'm saying it, because
I might owe Mexico some money.
most people aren't paying it, and they're technically not checking for it and or enforcing it. But it is tied to your passport. So I'm like,
God forbid I get
a tax audit from
'cause
Mexico.
At some point, I'm going to owe Mexico
like,
at least $60.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just
And the
start.
signage is there. Like Tosh said, the signage is there from you getting off that plane. They have the signs, like, go on the website right now. Sometimes they encourage you to do it on the flight, you know. But yeah.
Or even if you look up the pre-departure information for Mexico, it
mentions
says
it in
too.
all of the airlines. It's in that. It's in that. Yeah.
And I'm like, Mexico, what's up? Like,
I'm
is this a
confused.
thing? Is it not a thing?
Do better than me. Don't be like me. Hey y'all.
Hey y'all, hey. Welcome to another episode of Travel
Fly.
Sexy. I'm your co-host, Natasha Terrell, owner of Travel Goddess International.
And I'm your co-host, Sincerely Jasmine, founder of Boss Babes Love Brunch.
Period. And today, guys, even though when Jasmine saw it, she was like, again. But we're going back to Mexico. However,
Cancun specifically.
More importantly, just some tips, because we've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of DMs, a lot of comments with questions about travels to Mexico. And, you know, Mexico is always in the news. There's always some type of something and this, that, and the third. So, like, let's just dive, like, more granularly, if that's a word, into it today with the tips you need to know for your upcoming travels to Cancun or flying into Cancun and the surrounding areas.
Yes.
Because, not to say stop asking us, but like, let's just give you the tea.
It's a recurring.
Let's give you the tea today, all right? So stick around for all of that. But before we jump into it, a little bit of gotta smell for our inbox to yours. Take us away, Jazz.
Yeah, so pleasantly surprised with this week's Gotta Smell. So it's a little airport hack, which obviously, I mean, they put it on the internet, so why not put it on a podcast? JFK, we know, one of the busiest airports, especially here on the East Coast. So when you enter into that main terminal, there was a travel creator who posts how to avoid the rush in JFK. So ultimately, you enter that main terminal and make your way downstairs to the area where TSA pre-check and clear plus. And I was pleasantly surprised watching that video how it went from regular JFK to like little small town airport.
Exactly.
Like, it was super empty. But he did mention Clear Plus, which I'm not sure if it's like a Clear Plus.
Yeah,
different.
there's like another level of the Clear membership.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't think regular Clear, but TSA pre-check, we can
Yes,
use it.
yes, yeah. And like you said, it was a pleasant surprise because if you've ever flown out of JFK, you know. It's like
It's crazy.
It's crazy. JFK and LAX, East Coast and West Coast. The airports are madness, but you get through and they connect you to the world. That's just what it is. But if you don't have some of these perks, you're going to wait and wait and wait.
These are the airports that you have to show up to.
This is where the 2-3 hour
option.
Exactly. This is where that rule came from.
Yeah, exactly.
So finding out that you technically could not stand in a line or basically have a 2-3 minute from point A to B was pretty neat.
It's like, okay.
Granted, much like with any time I see a hack, I'm like, okay, well, how long till it's no longer available?
Exactly. I was like not going to talk about it until I did it. And I was like, who knows when the next time I'm flying out of JFK? Why not tell the people?
You're flying out of JFK upcoming. So I will
let us know.
Circle back and let you guys know.
Let us know how that goes.
But did he specify like the terminal?
I believe 4.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll
Terminal
link
4.
it, and I believe it was 4, but we'll link it in the show notes so you can kind of see the full little route that the guy shows, because he'll show you specifically which elevator, which floor.
Yeah, he did a good job actually. We love good content creators.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, any hex for JFK, we welcome. If you have any others, drop them in the comments, please.
do.
Because if you've been
Any airport hex.
yes, because if you've been to airports like that, you already know. Everybody needs a tip.
Oh my God.
Everybody needs a tip.
Atlanta, Miami, Orlando.
Orlando. Jasmine hates Orlando.
Oh my God, I hate it. So many kids. So many people.
Kids. I promise we actually like kids.
Oh, I love children.
But like
That's not.
traveling with the kids, I legit would provide a Nobel Peace Prize to every single parent
They
who travels with children.
Once they travel with kids, they checked out. You can see they be like, "I'll see you when we get there," and I'm like, "This is your child,
right? Like, come on,
going through security." And it's just like certain processes. It's like I don't have children, so I'm just not used to going through like being patient in security and certain things. I'm just like, okay.
Listen, I haven't traveled through security with a child, and I'm still impatient traveling through security with my husband or just with my sister, like anybody. This is every man's for yourself until we get on the other side. And it's like, it's not shade.
Leaving the kids.
I'm leaving everybody because I'm so used to traveling either by myself or just traveling. So I'm like, security to me, if you're behind me, you're behind me. If you're not, I'll be on the other side waiting. I'll wait. I will wait.
Flight information.
But you got the flight information.
You know where we going.
Meet you at the gate.
Josh be in a lounge chilling somewhere while them kids still in line.
Listen, it's too much. I can't. The one thing I cannot do is stress with travel. It blows my whole thing. I'm not the same person.
What are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, like I'm like, for your sake and mine, just let me go. Let me go.
I'll just see you.
I'll see you on the other side. Oh, great. And I'm probably traveling to Mexico. So, there's that.
Mexico travel's never really a headache getting from PHL to Cancun.
It's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward and lots of nonstops. But I'll get it. We'll talk about it at the end of this. So stick around because at the end of our tips, I'm going to share some bonus tips about my recent travels through the new Tulum International Airport that you absolutely need to know because
I need the tea on it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But today's topic is all about the travel tips when flying into Cancun International Airport. And again, you could be staying in Cancun, Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen, wherever. But flying into that airport, these are just some tips that you need to know. So that way your life could be easier, your travels could be better.
Exactly. And some of these travel tips are in general, so it might not be specific to Mexico or Cancun travel, but just some traveling tips from things that we hear, questions that we answer.
Hey
often.
y'all,
It's your girls of Travel Fly Sexy.
before we jump into today's episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
And make sure that you're following us on Instagram and TikTok at Travel Fly Sexy.
And of course, if you have a product or service that you'd like to see featured on an upcoming episode of Travel Fly Sexy, shoot us an email at info@travelflysexy.com.
Now let's get back into the episode.
First things first, getting there. We just mentioned nonstop flights are typically available from a lot of destinations.
Yeah, for sure.
Or shouldn't say a lot of cities across the U.S. So PHL, legit. But you know what was crazy?
What?
For my travels to Tulum, part of the reason that I chose to do the Tulum airport was because there were no nonstops on the day coming or returning. Girl,
I
going or
was actually
returning.
searching recently for a flight to Cancun, and I'm like, these are not the flights I usually
These are not the
take.
we know the number of flight, 8:24, 10:14. Like we know the flight time.
I definitely did a
'Cause we
recent search and
fly
was
them all
having
the
that same-
time.
I'm like, where are the nonstops? For
Very
$300.
weird. Very, very weird. But generally speaking, nonstop flight is available. Another tip, pack a pen.
Absolutely.
And I know, I don't always have to fill out the custom form. I don't always have to do these things. Pack a pen an ink pen, pen.
Yes.
Because sometimes you got a form, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you got a machine, sometimes you don't.
Yep, you never know. Just to be safe. Sometimes they're passing stuff out on a plane. Sometimes
Yes.
they're passing stuff out when you get through customs. Once you get there and you're like, oh, I don't have a pen. Just have one.
And the reason, and to that point, it's inconsistent.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we
'Cause
don't
you
know.
might not need a pen. You might not could do it on your phone.
Like,
Might
it's
not need to do anything at all.
hella inconsistent.
It is. It is.
Which is
'Cause
weird.
Depending on the airline, there are those flights when you land in Cancun, they pass out those papers. As you're, before you're landing, and then you're asking the flight attendant, do they have a pen? And it's like, it's 200 of y'all. I do not.
Exactly. Yes, because y'all don't know how to give him
Y'all
back.
know how to give them back. Exactly. So flight attendants will be the first one to tell you, I don't got no pen for you, because if I had a pen for everybody, that's not what we do.
They hit you with a neighbor. Say to your neighbor, ask your neighbor.
Ask your neighbor. Or do it when you land. And then now you at customs counters trying to find pens.
And it's everybody's there trying to find a pen.
Everybody has to fill it out.
And additionally, now you're slowed down. Now everyone's going
Extra
past
20
you.
minutes. Yep.
Now you're at the back of the customs line because you had to stop to fill out the form.
Yep.
Pack the pen in your carry-on.
Period.
And now you get to just keep it rolling. Another one, pack headphones with a cord. And I don't know if you guys know, I don't know if you've been on airplanes in recent, but they still got that little headphone jack. So if you planned on watching a movie or doing whatever, and you have your AirPods or your Bluetooth Bose,
It's
or
out.
it's not really going to work. Now, I do have a little gadget that allows you to
connect.
use your Bluetooth.
Yes.
And you can plug that gadget into the headphone jack, and then you can essentially pair your Bluetooth headphones to the gadget.
Yep.
So there's stuff out there, but
But if you don't have all that extra stuff, just bring your cords.
exactly.
I also say bring cords because the AirPods die, So
Oh,
depending
yes.
on if you were delayed or if you were fully charged when you got to the airport, you would hate to be like on a flight trying to watch something and your AirPods died. Now what?
That has happened to me, and I've heard
Yeah.
that doo-doo-doo right in my left ear.
It's done.
Like,
Exactly. Then one died, another one dying. Now you land and you got sound in the left, not in the right, your AirPods.
It's annoying. You saw it.
Just have your cords in a bag just in case.
Please, because that is so salty.
Yeah,
Like,
sick.
just both died. Like, don't just.
They never on the same
die.
accord. Like,
I charged you at the same time.
both in my ear. Like, why are you not? Why is it just one?
So weird. Another one, and this was actually interesting when I was doing my research to find this out. But you can only have one laptop per person in your carry-on. So,
Very true.
sometimes for people, they got work from home jobs and remote this and that, and you may have a personal
multiple,
laptop and a
your
work
work laptop.
laptop. You can only have one laptop per person
Yep.
in your carry-on, which I thought was very interesting. Again, traveling into Mexico, they're talking specifically about Mexico. They limit you to one laptop per person, which I thought was interesting.
And they check, like, usually if you've been into the Cancun airport, when you land, you often have to go through like a second layer of security sometimes.
Yes, when you're exiting, like, you'll have to go past, you clear customs, and then you go through, which essentially is like another set of metal detectors where you drop your bag and it goes right through,
Yep.
and then you pick it back up, and now you can exit the airport.
Yep.
So I guess at that time they check it for your extra laptops. So
That would
don't
be
bring
crazy
them.
if they take your laptop.
Don't bring them. Another thing that I found in my research, that vape liquid is not allowed.
Yeah.
We be talking about those vapors.
Yeah, no vape liquid. I think you can bring a vape, but not the actual,
liquid.
Yeah.
And this is all specific to carry-ons. So if you
Yes.
check your bag, I suppose that's different. But this is specific to the carry-on item. So be careful.
I don't even think you can check vapes.
I don't know either.
I think
I'm
I
like,
think they have to be with you on the carry-on, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like if you're going to Cancun and you have to refill or whatever, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, find a vape shop in Cancun. Which they have them. So you're not all is not
hard
lost.
to find. Yeah.
But it's definitely better than getting caught up in customs.
Yeah.
Passport book is required. And I say that because
No card.
No card, but also, I'm going to say this, and I don't remember the name of the agency, and I'm glad I don't because I don't want to put anybody on blast. However, there is an agency in Philadelphia, a travel agency, that when you Google their agency and you Google, do you need a passport to go to Mexico?
It says no?
It says no. They're advertising this.
Ooh.
And I only know this because someone reached out to me and was like,
To verify,
hey, I'm looking on the travel deal on the website. It has a travel, because our website shows the checkbox for passport required.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they're like, but this website told me I don't need one. And I was like, well, if you'd like to go through them, by all means.
Girl.
But everything that I know and everything that I have known in my 18 trips to Mexico.
Yeah, that's crazy to go to Mexico without a passport.
That you need a passport. And more importantly, a passport book. Yeah, man. So please be careful.
That's so interesting.
Be careful because it's funny. I said this yesterday. I was having a conversation with someone and I was like, lots of people are popping up being travel agents and that's great. Mm-hmm. Go for it. Pursue your dreams. If you're wanting to just reap the benefits, whatever your reason is, no shade. But please do not ill-equip travelers.
Because now going out the country and don't have a passport.
Like having that verbiage on your website to where it comes up in Google.
Yeah, that is dangerous.
That's effed up. I'm sorry.
Puerto Rico.
Like it said Mexico and it said from the USA.
It's the wrong ICO, babe.
Like what?
Rico, not Mexico.
So if you want a reputable agency that's been around,
I was about to say,
there's
other agencies in Philly besides Travel Guide International.
There are.
That's crazy.
And they are not giving out the correct information. Okay. So as much as y'all didn't listen to this show, we do our research, we double check, we triple check, cross the T's, dot the I's, call the suppliers.
To go to Mexico.
Yeah, you need a damn passport from Mexico.
Anywhere, everywhere in Mexico, you need a passport.
Ridiculous. And a passport book.
Yes.
With the pages.
Because they want to look through it and stamp it up.
Not the card. Crazy outside. Another tip for when you land into Cancun is that they do have these immigration machines now. Mm-hmm. Jasmine and I have used them a few times, pleasantly surprised about them.
Yep.
Sometimes though they work, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't have an attendant and they won't have them set up at all, and they'll just have you go through a regular line. So it is, it depends, but we have had good experiences with them where obviously a lot of people naturally go to the regular line. Mm-hmm. So even if they're open, it's way faster because everyone's just naturally going to go to the regular customs line.
Yeah, so it's interesting how that works for the human brain, where you just
automatically
go right.
Yeah,
you just go right.
You come off, you like this. And most of the time, it's not people's first rodeo, so they're like, they just go straight there. And I'm like, you never thought about what these little machines were,
right? And the verbiage on the sign is interesting too because it's basically like it almost sounds like you have to be from Mexico to use it.
That's how they do position it. The way that I first read it, I thought that you had to be, from Mexico. Yeah. I thought that was their, how they separated where it's like you're from this country versus visiting. So when I first saw it, I thought that was like, oh, they just upgraded that and then this is still this way. Maybe the upgrade will get over here, but
no, it's for everybody. The verbiage is just very weird.
Yeah, and it's very quick and easy.
It is, but I also, if I'm not mistaken, it's not for children under the age of 18 or under the age of 16. It says it on there. It does say it on the sign. So if you have children, if you have children, you won't be able to utilize it.
It could possibly be for the height thing too, because the camera's positioned a certain way. So it could just be because of if you're down there, it's not going to be able to process you because the camera is literally there. I feel like the camera probably can't.
That's a good point. Yeah. So but if you have children, this perk or benefit might not work.
Get in a regular line.
Sorry, don't shoot the messenger.
Next, we have cell phone service.
Listen.
And again, this is for every destination, but specifically to Mexico, Cancun, you want to call your provider. Mm-hmm. We know T-Mobile. I have T-Mobile. Tasha has AT&T. Mm-hmm. So we have no charge. So upon arrival, you'll get that text specifying what your plan includes, whether it's 25 cents for a call or free unlimited or a certain amount of gigabytes for your service. You'll receive that as soon as you land. Mm-hmm. But If you don't got T-Mobile or AT&T, even if you do, still call your provider. Let them know that you're going to be out of the country, that you're going to Mexico, so that way they can have that in the system, and whatever, specifics fall under that plan, you can have it. And if not, you can buy extra stuff if you need to. Like, if you are someone who needs to be on the phone a lot, or if you are someone who needs super fast internet or something for work or something, you may want to pay for a plan to ensure that you have that service.
Now, the great thing, though, about Mexico, if you have T-Mobile or AT&T, it's like being home.
Yep.
It's no charge.
It's no charge.
You could go to Mexico
Nothing. No
and not
calls.
incur any costs.
No calls, no texts,
You don't gotta
no
worry
video.
about when your bill come. It's like, oh, I was traveling to Mexico last month. It's gonna be higher. It's not.
Yeah,
I love that for us.
absolutely. The calls, the calls is really the biggest thing. Actually, while we're speaking about cell phones, T-Mobile just recently released free Wi-Fi in the sky.
Yes. Yeah. I actually got to use it the other day.
Yeah, so
Not because I'm a T-Mobile
I was going to
user.
say, you don't have T-Mobile.
My sisters have T-Mobile, so I put their phone number in.
And so how did it work?
It was really easy. So literally, this was on my recent American Airlines flight. Clicked on the free Wi-Fi for T-Mobile. It gave you an option for an hour with streaming or a whole flight, no streaming.
Nice.
And then literally put in your T-Mobile phone number or your phone number that's associated with T-Mobile. It did like a little search, verified it, and said you're connected.
Perfect. Yeah, I was speaking with someone.
Easy.
I had to go on T-Mobile the other day. Annoying. But I was talking about that, and I was just like, how does it work? So it just pops up like a provider, like it would Xfinity or your Wi-Fi provider. It'll just pop up T-Mobile.
It pops up when you click view the Wi-Fi packages for the plane.
For American. Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
so it was one of the package
so cool.
options.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice it didn't pop up when I was traveling because I had a connection flight, which again we'll talk about later. When I was traveling from Dallas to Mexico, it didn't pop up.
Yeah,
when
it says not on every flight.
When I was traveling from Philly to Dallas, it popped
up, yeah. And that's probably, they said it's not on every single flight, but that's cool. I like that. So that's cool to add to your travel tips as well. Don't pay for Wi-Fi if you have T-Mobile. You have the possibility of getting it for free.
That's very true, because I was like, oh, a little free,
whatever the price is.
Because America be wanting $16 to $25.
It'd be like $16-$20 to get Wi-Fi on any airline. So
American is the highest.
Yeah, because Spirit's like $14.99.
It depends. They start at $7.99.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it starts at $7.99, and I've seen it as high as $14.99. But American is definitely the highest I've seen. Yeah, American and possibly Emirates, but
do some free T-Mobile Wi-Fi.
Yeah, for sure. But call your cell phone service. The same way you call your credit card, call your cell phone. Just to make sure you can use your phone and not be out there like, what's going on?
You're off a property and can't make a call.
For sure. Another tip, pre-book your transportation.
Yes, absolutely.
And the reason that this is important is because when you're exiting the Cancun International Airport, CUN, there is a gauntlet of people.
Where did
that are like, what are you doing? What's going on? Who's your transportation? And they like seem like they want to help you.
They seem like they want to help you. They're so manipulative.
But they don't want to help you, baby. They want to sell you stuff. Okay? So like on the Monopoly board, do not pass go. Do not collect, pass go and collect $100. Just focus. Don't go. Don't look at these people.
Going. They're going to ask you. And the thing is like, you're going to probably answer, but just like, I already booked it. And that's the point. That's the point of pre-booking it. So that way you don't have to have those awkward conversations of like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to this resort. And they're like, every single person's trying to sell you.
They're trying to sell
your answer to their question is already booked. Going to meet my driver.
Yes. Yep.
I already talked to him. My driver's outside. That's what I was going to
say. Tell them you already spoke with them. Yeah. Tell them you're like, I'm WhatsApping them right now.
Because they'll convince you like, oh, I'll talk. Like, who is it? I already talked to them. It's booked. We paid for it. We're going.
Yeah. Like, please, because they will try to sell you. I got caught up in that before.
Convince you to like book with them. Like, oh, well, if you didn't book it yet, I have a car here already instead of waiting 10 minutes for them.
And granted, everybody's doing their job. They work, we're not knocking anybody's hustle. But if you're a person like me and Jasmine, like when touchdown, start the vacation.
I'm ready to go.
Start the vacation. I didn't check a bag. I haven't been waiting in this airport. I got I need to be in this airport for 20 minutes from the time I arrive to getting out.
Exactly.
I don't need to be talking to nobody else.
Customs to the door.
Exactly. So fully exit the airport to find your transportation, look for the signage, whether it be the transportation company's name or your name specifically. Get outside. Like, look for the Margaritaville.
Go.
And go.
Yeah. Just go. Even outside, they're going to still try to get you.
They will. But again, blinders, guys. Yes. Just blinders.
Stay focused. And that's the point. Just pre-book it so you don't get
Stay focused. And I will say, we've talked about it in the past, shared versus private. If you're traveling, in my opinion, with 4 people or more, just book a private. Because once you split the cost of the private for 4 people to 6 people,
it's the same price.
It is the same price as a shared round trip transfer.
Absolutely.
Like, I think recently we paid, like, it was $205 round trip, but it was 6 of us.
6 of you. Yeah, exactly.
That's no money.
Yeah.
So
That's no money. I'm dead.
No money. So yeah, if you have, I would say
Especially with
4
the
or
group.
more,
Yeah,
definitely
especially
book
with the
it.
group. I
Definitely
agree.
book the private. So again, you can just go to your hotel.
Yeah, because I mean, shared is on average about $40, $50, maybe more per person, depending on where you're going. And again, like we said, this is the Cancun airport, so you can be going far. You can be going to Tulum, and it can cost you way more. You can be going to 𝗪𝗏𝒻𝒂𝒃, and it could be costing you more than going to the hotel zone in Cancun.
Right.
So take all of that in consideration as well when it comes to that shared versus private, because I think private's worth it when you're going a longer distance.
For sure. Like, I just want to get there.
Yeah.
Another tip, just in case you guys don't know, check-in times.
Yes. Oh my
They are generally between 3 and 4 p.m.
Yes. Oh
That's
my
when
gosh.
They're technically allowed, or technically required, I guess, to let you in. Okay?
They're cleaning the room. Like, we have to understand hospitality. It's nothing personal. People are like, so what am I supposed to do? I'm just like, babe, you have to wait until they clean the room. The other people have to leave.
Okay?
People have to leave.
Because on the opposite
they
side,
gotta clean it.
check-out times are generally 11 or 12.
Exactly. And then you have those people who ask for an hour, or you know what? So it's just like, dude, it's not personal. Check-in times are not personal. And if you're one of those people, try to get your flight as close to that arrival time, that check-in time as possible. If you're someone, you know that your flight lands at noon and check-in's not till 4, babe, go to the pool.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like, if it gives you anxiety, if you need to get to the hotel and get right into your room, to Jasmine's point, then you need to coordinate your flight time accordingly.
Yes.
But if you're someone that's like, it's all good, I'm ready to start my trip, get on the early flight, get there early, change in the bathroom, give them your luggage, and go to start
more hours
experiencing.
to explore the property and have fun, and then you'll get in the room and continue to have fun.
Right, because we've done that plenty of times.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we didn't forgot to go back and get the luggage.
Like, we ain't even check in yet.
We ain't even checked in yet. It's 6 o'clock.
And I think that I've been seeing a lot of people create like pieces of content around that. It's like resorts do that. Like that is a thing for all-inclusive resorts, because they are used to being close to fully occupied and having to turn over rooms fast. It's only but so much staff. So they're 100% open to you coming in, getting your wristband, checking in, and exploring a property until your room's available.
Absolutely.
That's what you paid for.
Yeah. Like, we will put our swimsuits on, throw the shades on, spray the hair,
get some food,
and go.
get some
Some
drinks.
food. Exactly. Now you're tipsy trying to check in.
Right.
You're
Next
like,
thing you
Lord
know, you're like,
Jesus.
oh God, come pick me up.
Right.
Tell the concierge to bring my bag.
Please. This is real, actual, true stories.
Seriously. But then you also spoke about the departure.
Yes.
So like we said, checkout is 11, maybe 12. So if you have a later flight, you have that option as well to stay on the property and, get a later pickup and use the property, change your clothes in a restroom before you leave, and then go to the airport. Or you have the option to obviously go to the airport and utilize airport lounges to kill time, which I did on my last trip. I'm like, let's get out of here.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, like, most resorts will allow that, but some resorts be funny. Like, so you also gotta, like,
That's crazy. Get out is crazy.
Yes, like, get out. Like, what you mean? Like, no, they like cut wristband.
Yes.
It's like,
But
no, I'm still here.
not to be shady. As long as you're out that room,
Yeah.
you You don't gotta go talk to them yet.
You don't. I'm just out your room. You just need your room.
You don't gotta go talk to the front desk yet.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. Send the bellman to your room.
Exactly.
Collect your luggage.
At your checkout, hey, and then you think they're gonna call your cell phone and be like, hey, we're waiting for you at the back. They're gonna hold your bags at the front.
And that's that.
Use your couple hours and then come back and let them cut their span.
Yep. Because also, and this is another great tip, to just keep an eye on your flight that morning or that afternoon, whenever your flight's supposed to depart, because those delay notifications will come through, and it's way better to get that at the resort
than it is at the airport,
than on your way to the airport.
Absolutely.
And I've been in both situations, so because I've been in the other opposite one where it's like I'm on my way to the airport, like, dang,
I got 6 hours.
I'd be like, let me check the status of these flights this morning to make sure, because I can definitely stay on this resort and eat more and drink more.
Exactly. And go to the airport once I'm full and drunk.
Precisely. So yeah, just keep an eye. You book with Travel Guys International, you book with Jasmine or I. We don't control your checkout or check-in time.
No, that's set in stone. And it's pretty much the same thing, like everywhere. Like, you have that 3-4, that 11-12. That is literally hotels, resorts. It's pretty much the same thing across the board. You often can't check in past 11 p.m. at a lot of places. So if you have a late flight, that's something you need to let the hotel know. It's pretty standard.
Yeah. And before we jump into this next one, that's actually a really good point too. Depending on where you're staying, like if it is a smaller boutique property, they don't necessarily have a 24-hour desk person all the time. Their shift ends at 11, and then they have just a security person that will do the overnight. So keeping that in mind, if you're getting to the destination past a certain hour, you absolutely want to give your hotel that heads up. So that way your keys are still available and they know that you're still coming, versus just showing up and thinking that they're supposed to. Because some smaller places, they have quote unquote business hours.
Yeah, for sure.
For check-in too.
It can be the end of that. And sometimes there's people on site. It's just not front desk people. You know what I mean? It's just not people that can check you in. So you definitely want to be mindful of that as well.
With those later arrivals, for sure.
This is one of my favorites. They try to get me on my last vacation. The timeshare presentations. And a lot of you may be like, what are you talking about? Right. What does that mean? There are people whose job is to sell the property, to sell you being here, you buying.
For the long haul.
Yeah, a long haul. And a lot of resorts buy, people commit to that. They come every year. They come, they send family. They do their anniversary. And it works for some people. So if you are looking to commit to a brand or to a resort, maybe you would be interested in something like this. However, they market this like it's normal. Yeah. So you're walking a property, you're walking the airport, you're walking the strip. People market timeshare presentations like they're trying to sell you something. The reality is it's just a timeshare. Y'all know what a timeshare is. If you don't want a timeshare, do not sit through this presentation.
Right.
And they will fluff it up.
I was going to say free this, free that.
$200, free bottle of wine. If you do not want to purchase a timeshare,
save your time.
If you have no intentions on purchasing and utilizing a timeshare,
save your time.
Because it's lengthy, babe. It's lengthy.
It's a few hours.
It's a few hours. They take you to lunch. They start warming you up, seeing where your head at and how they should deliver the presentation, which slides they should focus on based on how you're speaking with them. And personally, I've done
one too, just to know.
Exactly, to be able to describe the experience. And again, they're great at their jobs. These are top salespeople.
Absolutely.
They are very good at their jobs. They set it up very casually. It's conversational. But if you're not looking to spend 10, 20, 12, 15 grand on a timeshare investment, it's not worth it.
Absolutely.
It's not worth it. None of those coupons.
I was going to say they're going to promise you the world, but
none of those coupons, none of that free stuff they're telling you, free wine, free romantic dinner, is not worth, because they're going to sell you on it. And I know people who have been sold.
They went in I'm about to say no, but I'm just going to get these perks. And they signed on the dotted line.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Why did you do that?
Right.
Well, technically, I do go and
okay.
Child, they done got you.
Got him.
Sometimes, and I'm like, babe, I told you not to do that.
Right.
Like, so I tell my clients all the time, avoid the timeshare presentations. They make it sound super beneficial. It's not. You don't need a timeshare right now. You're not at that point in life.
I know.
Like, we're not there yet.
And it's so like you said, they're so good at their job. Like they'll
good.
approach
they make
you.
It sound so normal. You can use it at thousands of hotels across the whole world.
I'm
like,
even like their initial approach, like when you're arriving and they're like
casual.
someone comes up to you and they start to kind of ask you a few questions. No, yeah, that's a dead giveaway too.
Set up?
What do you have set up, or you know,
what are you doing today?
It's not the concierge.
That's their favorite thing. Like,
the concierge
what is your
ain't
day
coming
looking
up.
like? What are you doing today? I'm like, I'm just at breakfast bobbing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not the concierge. The concierge is not coming to you. You go to the concierge.
Exactly. So those people who just come out and poach you, like, hey, like, what you doing?
And they catch you in the check-in line if there's a line, and just trying to, that's them. A hack to making sure that they don't ask you again the rest of your trip. Tell them you're a travel
advisor.
agent.
I'm a travel agent. They hate that.
They not about to check your credentials, nothing like that.
Oh.
They literally just be like, enjoy your trip.
They're like, oh, okay.
Because they know we know.
They were trying to get me and my boyfriend, and this guy was good because he almost had me because I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, he was hitting me with like random angles. Like, and I just was like, huh? And I was a little hungover. So I just was like, I'm not fully woke right now. And I'm like, what are you saying? He was like, yeah, well, come see me before you guys go, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm a travel agent. I'm sorry. I misunderstood your angle. My apologies. I'm a travel agent. Don't talk to me no more. And he was like, oh, okay. But he was trying to, he came inside the breakfast. I'm like, sir,
lay off me.
What are you talking about? I'm like, we have experience. Like, what are you trying to sell? And then I realized, like, he's trying to sell the timeshare. He was like on every angle. He didn't mention anything about it. He just was like coming from every single angle to where I was even confused. And I was like, oh,
got it. Right. Took me a second, but figured it out.
But I got you.
Yeah. So, depending on you, I mean,
it's not worth it.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's not. This is another one because people be asking this all the time about the water in Mexico. So here's the thing to know. Most resorts and hotels in Mexico, they have a top tier filter system.
Absolutely.
So, when you're brushing your teeth, you're okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The ice is fine.
The ice is fine. And also, most people will give you water bottles. Most places will give you water bottles. So in that regard, the water bottle is absolutely the safest bet. But I'll say this. If you have your concerns, be concerned. I mean, I'm not about to tell you, go ahead and drink it. And then you come back and be like, travel 5 seconds made me sick.
Can you travel with a Brita? Just take a Brita. If you one of those people,
I
would just take a Brita.
I think you can because they have like the small ones.
Yeah, I feel like you could just take a Brita. If you really are one of those people, just take a Brita.
Right, because I can't. Like, it's like I've been to Mexico
just take a
so
Brita,
many gajillion times.
Put it in the sink.
I brush my teeth twice a day.
Yeah, or bring your.
I'm fine.
If you one of them people who pack all the stuff, put your little Brita container thing in there. Filter all the water you want.
I guess, but but they do have filter systems on the properties.
Absolutely. And the bottled water, like you mentioned, is like you got bottled waters in your mini bar. You have bottled waters in all the restaurants, so you're fine.
Yep, and they'll ask you bottled water. Most places they don't even have from the pitcher.
Yeah.
They literally will bring you the bottle.
Exactly.
So they respect that. They respect that, and they know that.
This next one's actually interesting because people always ask about this before they go. The dinner on the resort, the reservations. So people are like, I know I have to make reservations with the dinner place. I'm like, babe, you didn't even fully pay for your trip yet. I feel you.
Damn, Daniel.
I feel your concerns. A lot of resorts at this point, I would say, do not require reservations for a lot of the restaurants.
Yeah.
And if they do, they'll tell you upon check-in, like, hey, if you want a reservation here
at this one,
you have to do it by this time. Here's where you go. Here's how you do it. Or you can do it at check-in. Often, it's the hibachi. It's very often that it's the hibachi restaurant. the Japanese/hibachi on most resorts that you have to make a reservation for, because to get that tableside experience, they want to make sure that they, have that. So usually I mean, from my experience, it's often just been that hibachi style restaurant that requires the reservation because of the experience. But even like your steakhouse, Italian, like French, all of those restaurants tend to be first come, first serve.
Yeah. And I'm liking that more resorts are leaning into that.
Absolutely.
Because 5-7 years ago, you had to make a reservation for everything.
Absolutely.
And you were just SOL if you didn't, you know? So now I'm liking the fluidity of
absolutely
just come and we'll figure it out for you.
It's not busy, because to me, when I first was thinking that, I'm like, dang, so everybody's gonna be flocking to the steakhouse, everybody's gonna be flocking to the Italian. Like, am I gonna be able to get what I want? But again, from my experience, I've never had any issues of being able to have to wait more than 15-20 minutes. That time we went,
yeah. Because I was just about to say that.
We was in Mexico.
Yeah,
too.
we were in Mexico. We were at Valentine Imperial.
Yeah.
But I will
that's
say,
a one-off.
That's what I was going to say. The pocket of 6 to 8 p.m. is just a high time.
Absolutely. That's when the restaurants first open. So people have been starving themselves all day eating hot dogs. And they're like, I can't wait to eat
exactly.
at 6 p.m. And like you said, 6 to 8, that's just usually that dinner time.
It's
for
just
the
a regular dinner
average
time
adult.
for your average. Exactly. So if you could do an 8:30, a 9, you will absolutely get seated with no worries. Or if you're an early bird and you can do a 5 or 5:30, if they open that early, you will get seated.
Yeah.
Or a 6,
Dang.
I guess. But
I just had PTSD about
I
that
know you did, because
experience.
we were hopping. We went to 3 different
so
restaurants.
Hungry. That was literally a day where we were so hungry.
Yes.
For 6 o'clock, we was like, we going to eat.
And we ended up at the Indian fusion
and that
or something.
restaurant had buzzers. That was a one-off. Again, most restaurants do not require reservations, but that one, they had buzzers at all the restaurants. It was a lot.
Because it's a large resort.
It was
too.
a large resort.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting Indian, which was great. And the restaurants there were amazing.
They had
but they had waits.
available.
You had to wait 15-20 minutes.
Amazing is a stretch, but it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was different. It was a different array of cuisines.
But to that point, we we went during a pocket of the busy time. The 6 to 8
bounced around
is
everywhere
busy.
we went was busy because of that time.
But 8:30 to 10, you good. Another tip. So Mexico, I think this has actually been about a year or so now that they've implemented this tourism tax, the tourist tax, and it's about the equivalent of $15 per person. And you'll see the signs in the airport. You'll even see, you'll see them when you're deplaning. They're right on the jet bridge, and then there's some of the signs in the hallway. And it says you're supposed to visit this website and pay this tax. And I'll tell you, since it has released, I've done it one time.
I'm laughing because I'm like, I haven't paid it yet.
I
But
know.
Be better than me.
But this is why I'm saying it, because
I might owe Mexico some money.
most people aren't paying it, and they're technically not checking for it and or enforcing it. But it is tied to your passport. So I'm
That's like, God forbid I get
a tax audit from
'cause
Mexico.
At some point, I'm going to owe Mexico
I'm
at least $60.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just
And the
start.
signage is there. Like Tasha said, the signage is there from you getting off that plane. They have the signs go on the website right now. Sometimes
your
they
payment.
encourage you to do it on the flight, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah.
Or even if you look up the pre-departure information for Mexico,
It
says
mentions
it
it
there
in all of the
too.
airlines. It's in that. It's in that. Yeah.
And I'm like, Mexico, what's up?
I'm
Is this a
confused.
thing? Is it not a thing?
Do better than me. Don't be like me. Be better.
Yeah, because
I just be like,
no one again, and like most people, it's this is a normal behavior of people. If no one's checking for it, why am I bothering?
exactly.
It's not like
They probably eating off of it though, because a lot of people, when it comes to travel, really do want to be prepared. So probably so many people pay, because I have clients who often ask and they pay for it before they even check in for their flight.
yes, because it's
they're
listed
just
on the
like,
pre-departure
so
information.
it's one of those things where it's like, let me get this out the way, So
And when it first
a lot
revealed,
of people
I
have it in
paid
their
it.
checklist. Yeah, where it's like, oh, let me fill out this form, let me do this.
But then I was like, nobody asked me for it.
Yeah, but they changed. They've changed a lot upon arrival because you don't even have to do the customs form anymore.
No.
You don't have to do the custom form. Now you have to pay a tax.
I know.
So I'm like, maybe
this is why we're doing this episode, because it's like we all love Mexico. It's $2 to go to Mexico, but it's a lot of little details to go to Mexico.
Yeah, that tax is a thing. So
just pay the tax, y'all. Don't get caught up because y'all be that. It'll be that one time where you get audited at the customs, and they be like, "Where's the?"
Not getting turned around because I owe y'all $60. Relax.
Don't be like us. Oh my goodness.
They're like, ma'am, you owe us money.
And then you be like, what you talking about? I think I'm like, that tax?
That tax you ain't been paying that we put in front of you 16 million times. You keep coming back acting like you can't read that sign. Is it English and Spanish?
That's the part. You'd have been here about 4 or 5 times.
Sorry,
since it
y'all.
came out. That's hilarious. Best time to visit. Best time of year. I personally say the fall. The equivalent of fall for us. Like that October to
October, December.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Weather is great.
Went to Valentine, was that like
it was late September.
Yeah, and that was great.
Weather was
the weather
perfect.
was great. Yeah, I think that Q4 end of the year is awesome. I mean, any time of the year, obviously.
Yeah, but that summertime
we just
is
talking
hot.
about that summertime. Like we went to Mexico in July, and baby,
couldn't breathe.
It was hot, and like obviously it's Mexico, so you're just like okay, but like it was hot. Like you can't do nothing.
It was hot.
But be in a pool and
that's all you want to do.
Yeah. Yes. So if you plan on like exploring and doing things, I would say the fall gives you a little bit more flexibility in like enjoying the weather a little bit more.
Yeah, and the winter time is cool, but it's cool too.
Yeah.
Like there's a nice little crispy breeze in
once
the
you get
air.
that November, December, it's like, let me bring a light jacket, which is cool too. You know, like you have those warmer days and cooler nights.
But yeah, no, I mean like October, November, December is definitely like perfect. The January, February, March is cool in the air, but it's still beautiful.
Yep.
Like it's still nice and comfortable. But you, like you said, you'll need a light little jacket.
Yeah.
And guess we're talking about flying into Cancun, but I also just mentioned Cabo in the winter, in our winter. Baby, it's cold.
Really?
Dog, I had on long sleeves
Wow.
in the evenings. Like the daytime was still great.
See, that actually kind of makes sense
But
because
the evenings
Cabo's
was
like
cold,
the west
cold.
coast of Mexico. So I'm thinking even like LA and like where it's like it might be warm in the day, but in the evening those nights get cool.
Yeah, the evenings
so
it got down to like the high 50s, like
Dang.
59, 58.
And Cabo was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, whoo.
Oh yeah.
Pack this long sleeve. Yeah. So that was a thing.
I would definitely say that end of the year. Tipping. Tipping and money exchange. So I personally, I know people like to exchange their money. So like do what you want to do. Like, if you're a person who wants to exchange to be able to kind of better communicate with locals and things of that nature,
Go for it.
However, I'm a pre-booked person, so I usually spend most of my money prior to traveling. And then upon arrival, I'm just tipping. So I just bring, some 1s, 5s, and just use that money for tipping, and they take USD. Like they gonna take those dollars. They have no problem with not taking with not taking USD.
Absolutely. And you can do what you do. Like Jasmine said, you can convert if you convert, but if you prefer, at least for me, to not be left with pesos at the end of your trip that now you're trying to figure out how to get rid of.
Unless you collect them, which I mean is...
And that's fine. Yeah. But usually it's like one bill if you're a
Yeah,
collector.
exactly.
It's not like a lot of cash.
There where I'm like, I probably can go through wallets where I'm like, why do I have like 3 bills left? Like, and that's because I didn't need to exchange.
Right. So, and sometimes they'll give you, your change back in pesos. So that's all fine. But you technically don't have to exchange your money.
It's not a necessity.
For Mexico, yeah. But tipping, please tip them people.
Yes, we talk about it all the time.
Bring the $1 bills. Like we recently just visited Mexico and we went to the bank and got out $101 bills to just be able to make sure that you got some tips. Not necessarily going to the strip club with those, but
I'm dead.
The tips for the people that work at the hotel and the resort.
And those tips go a long way. You'll
do.
realize, like, you know, tipping your bartender, tipping your servers, like, you will find that you're having a better connection with them. They're making sure you're good. They might not be your server the next time, but they'll tell you or they'll pop over.
That part.
So tipping really goes a long way in Mexico for sure.
That's facts, because them people be talking.
Yeah.
They be like,
oh yeah, that's my friend from earlier.
They
yeah.
be like, them
Send
right
them
there.
a shot. Yeah.
Take care of them. They got a couple of dollars. a couple of dollars.
That good service.
That good service, yes. Another tip, pack medicine. I know it's like, oh, I'm going to be fine. I'm on vacation. Baby, your tum-tum might get upset. Your head might hurt. The reality of it is, if you, not Jasmine and I, who literally at this point got Mexico in our blood, the difference in the different food and air and like, all of that, it can impact you. So
Absolutely.
if you have a specific thing that you like to pack for upset stomachs or headaches or whatever, pack it. Because all of their medicines are in Spanish.
Yeah, and you may not be able to find your average Tylenol, Advil, whatever your go-to is. You might not be able to find that specific brand on property or in the area.
Yeah, it'll be an equivalent of it.
Exactly. I've had that before where it's like you might be a Tylenol person and it's like they only have Advil or they only have Aleve or whatever. And you're like, that's not what I use for this.
Right.
But that's all they have.
So
now what?
Bring your preferred medicine.
Absolutely.
And also do not bring medicines that are CBD infused.
And I'll be the first to tell you.
Don't do that. Yes. So like back when we were talking about the vapes a little bit earlier and they don't play none of that stuff.
Yeah, I actually had an experience going through that second layer of security in Cancun's airport where I had like some CBD gummies. They were from Vegas. I had got them from like a vacation like 2 weeks before. And I'm like, oh, I'll take them with me to sleep on a flight or whatever. And I kept them in the package. I didn't, which was dumb on my behalf. But I didn't like, because I'm like, whatever, it's CBD. And after we landed, they did that extra layer of security and they wanted to check my bag. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I got to take off, ain't much in there. Like, you know, quick little open. And the gummies were in there and they're like, you can't have these. And like me and him going back and forth, he's clearly Spanish. And I'm clearly like, sir, trash them. And he's like, and I'm like, so we just did a quick little, and he like, and I'm like, throw them away. I'm not going to jail for them. Throw them away.
Right.
But yeah. So I didn't go to jail and I trashed the gummies. I didn't have them for my way back. If you take them, put them in a plastic bag. Just don't take them.
They was Diddy in the Bull.
I'm like, sir. And he just like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Take them. Trash them.
Sir.
It's way more illegal things, but you don't want to tussle with them.
Okay.
So
just let it go.
Yeah. They don't like it.
Elsa, let it go.
Just let it go.
Oh my goodness. Okay. This is
this
actually
is good.
It is because
It's real good.
I do this now.
Yeah,
I
you
do
have
this
to.
now because I just don't want, and it's not really that applicable to women as much as it is the men.
Absolutely.
Check the resort's restaurant dress code.
Yes.
Before you leave, okay? Do not get on the plane and check it on the plane. Because you might not have what you need in your luggage.
Absolutely.
Now you got to go to the resort and buy some random pair of pants because the restaurants require pants.
Yeah.
Check this.
It is crazy. And I mean, like, obviously, like you said, it's more applicable for men, but it's for us too. Like, you know, sometimes you can't do see-through. Sometimes you can't do blah, blah, blah. So you might have your nighttime stuff where you're like, a girl like me who like, I'll do a full see-through dress with
okay, because I can't do it at home, but I can do it on vacation.
And they're like, you can't come in with that. And I'm like, well, I have to eat before I go to the club.
And this is my club ensemble.
And they're like, you can't go to your room. And I'm like, okay. That actually happened to me before. That happened to me in St. Martin. I had on like a full, and it wasn't even that bad. It was like a crochet.
People always
knit
say it
type
wasn't
of,
that bad.
like a knit situation. It was cute, in my opinion. But they would not let me go to that restaurant. And I was hungry. And I had to go pay for food off the resort.
Because you was not
And
changing.
then my boyfriend had, well, no, I would have changed. It was fine. But it was already late in the evening. And we was like doing a late dinner before we went out. So it was like pushing it. And he had to have a collar shirt.
Yeah, so you got to
like
read.
Said, it could be pants, it could be a collared shirt for males.
Yeah.
And you might just pack t-shirts, different whatever, like
Right.
this vacation.
Yeah.
Even if you got on like a nice pair of shorts with a t-shirt, sometimes you have to have on a collared shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be collar, it could be pants, it can't be this, it can't be that. So it's a lot of different
Closed-toe shoes
disclaimers.
sometimes.
Closed-toe shoes.
Yeah.
And you like, well, I only wear my sandals. It's vacation. So, yeah.
Definitely read that in advance. And it will list it on the hotel's website.
Oh, yeah.
You can also ask your travel advisor and they'll send you a link as well, but it's listed.
Yeah.
Definitely look it up. I definitely looked it up recently too, just to make sure, because I already knew I was packing Kyrie's suitcase. I'm like, I know what we got in here. The looks is fire, but we don't got pants.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe like, you need pants.
And it's hot. It's Mexico. Nobody want no darn pants. Like,
Can't do a tank top. It's so many.
So please look that up in advance. Don't get caught slipping or unable to eat because you don't have the right attire.
I was salty.
All right. Bonus, because I recently returned from Tulum. And I just got to tell y'all what the hell is going on around there, because I know we were all excited a few months back when we announced that they got this new airport.
Yes, TQO.
TQO is here, but TQO should have waited.
TQO is not getting ready.
TQO ain't ready for people, okay? First things first, this airport has nothing in it. So granted, all the signage is there, but nothing is open. So when I tell you only thing you can eat, and this was a day where flights were delayed.
Oh my God.
And the only thing that you can eat is chips. And
so the places aren't open
nope,
at all yet?
Signage is all there. So you know what's coming. Starbucks, Popeyes, Burger King,
wow.
Applebee's. Like, stuff is coming. Airport lounge isn't even open yet, but the sign is there.
Wow.
So just to give you guys context, so this airport started welcoming flights from the USA at the end of March.
Right.
So now we're a few months into that. But they opened officially to welcome domestic flights late 2023.
That's why I was like, it was like December, January.
Ciao. They should have waited. It's nothing there. Additionally,
crazy.
they're still installing air conditioning in certain areas of the airport.
When I saw that, I said, oh no.
So they got these huge industrial ACs that
It's too hot.
they working, I guess, but I also was sitting there once. So I don't know if someone who was sitting over there
Could even feel it.
could
Or if they
feel it.
sweating.
I specifically sat in there
That's
because I was
crazy.
like, one thing I can't do is be hot. Okay.
And ain't no food in here. I ain't
So
aggravated.
yeah, so there's that. But I will give them service in the airport excellent. Like, the people that are working throughout the airport are literally catering to you, asking you, do you need anything? They understand that it's a work in progress. So they're making sure travelers are doing what they do. The other thing to keep in mind, that it is still a 30 to 40 minute drive from the hotel zone, this airport. So it's like, it's not around the corner.
Interesting.
It's not around the corner. So
I mean, Tulum's pretty, like, that makes sense. It does make sense.
So, Cancun is hour 15 to an hour and a half, depending on the traffic, the Cancun airport to get to Tulum. So you still save about 45 minutes, I suppose, but I'm flying into Cancun airport. I'm flying. I would say give this until maybe end of summer.
I would say end of year.
But yeah, end of year for like full
Full
blast.
experience, yeah. Because the fact that none of those restaurants and stuff,
And this is all, like,
is
in
it
the
workers?
terminal.
Are they waiting to staff the
I don't
places,
know.
or is it like the actual like infrastructure?
Then the
like,
thing that got me was, this is all the stuff that's in the terminal that I'm talking about, that's in the terminal that's not open. The main area, like when you first enter or exit the airport, because they share that same main space, there's stuff open down there. So the Starbucks had just opened the day
before you
that
go
I
through
got there.
security and stuff.
And there's a restaurant open down there and snacks, but I'm like,
So you
don't
gotta
y'all
kill
know how
time.
this works?
Yeah.
If I buy the Starbucks drink when I enter the airport, I can't take it through
basically, they want
security.
you to kill time downstairs, but I didn't know it wasn't open until I got through security.
Facts.
So they should tell you, like, we're still working. It's
not.
Hang down here.
It's not. It don't make sense.
We're still working. Eat down here. Yeah.
Like, I'm like-
right. That's the staff area.
Right. I'm like, and then people that are coming out, they got access to this, but they're coming out. They're starting vacation.
They're not trying to.
They don't need a Starbucks. They might, but they don't need it. Like it was weird.
I always think the restaurants on entry in the airport. I'm
it's
like,
odd
why
to me.
is he so fire? Like, why y'all got this fire stuff out here?
It's the good stuff. It's like it's Cancun's like that too. Cancun got the good stuff
go
too.
through security, and I got two.
And I got
options.
McDonald's and Burger King. Yeah, and it's interesting, but it's beautiful.
Really?
They did their big one. It's beautiful.
TQL.
It's beautiful. But yeah, so that's the TQO experience. Just wanted to give you guys that heads up. And
30 to 45 is very interesting because I did assume that it was going to be
no, it's not around
relative.
the corner.
Like I thought, and like I mean, it makes sense. But I'm just like, oh, downtown Tulum, like it'll be super accessible to everything.
It is like it was 30 minutes from my hotel, which is like, you know, the jungly hotels. They are kind of off beach. So they're like 10 minutes from the beach.
Exactly.
So if you're going to the beach,
It's
the hotel
further.
zone, it's going to
And if
be
you're going
45
downtown,
minutes.
it might be a little further.
Yeah, downtown probably is going to be the same 30.
Okay.
Yeah, but the beach, the hotel zone, it's going to be 35 to 45.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So enter at your own risk.
I'll let them rock out for a little bit.
Let them get it together,
See them
okay?
at 25.
Because if you hungry, you better eat before you get to the airport.
I'm happy you did that experience.
And
to
I
talk
did
about it, though.
to talk about it. I'm like, dang, I really took one for the team.
Yeah, because that layover, girl.
The layover, the whole thing, because there's no nonstops currently out of PHL. Oh, it was just a whole time. But again, if there were nonstops from Cancun,
You would have went to Cancun.
I would have went to Cancun.
Absolutely. But you made it, since you had to lay over to Cancun anyway, you made it worth
and
the
I was
story.
like, this is so weird that there is
How
no
was the
nonstops.
price?
It was pretty comparable to that time of the
Year.
yeah. Like I was like, what is going on right now? But I was like, fine, because normally early May is very inexpensive, and I guess for lodging it was. But I was like, this is weird.
Yeah,
so
no,
it
I
was
was
like
searching Cancun
$289
flights.
round trip, which ain't terrible.
That's not bad.
Not at all.
Because I've been searching Cancun flights, and they've been high.
No, I mean,
don't know why.
That's why I was like, the pricing was comparable to a Cancun
that's
flight.
not bad. Yeah.
And again, there were no nonstops that day.
Last
coming
question.
back. I was
Last
like, what is
question about
this?
Tulum, the transportation. Because I think I saw you post something about that.
Thank you for
The
asking.
transportation from the airport, because we talked about the
Train wreck.
transportation in Cancun and how, it's a plethora, like it's so many people. So what's the experience in Tulum?
Oh my gosh. Guys, not fun. But let's break it down real quick. So, number one, there are not many transportation companies that are authorized to operate out of TQO yet.
Yes.
So much red tape. They got to get their clearances. They got to
makes
do all
sense.
of this stuff. So that limited me right there because, normally we rock out with Royal Transfer Cancun's regular. They don't operate out of TQO yet. So they were like, Natasha, we love you, but we can't do it. So I'm like, okay, fine. I had another operator that I wanted to work with, Lomas Travel, who's a newer contact for us. This is a great opportunity to understand their product and their offering. Let's rock out.
Right.
Fabulous product, by the way. Fabulous offering. Beautiful luxury accommodations. They did that. However, two things. One, they too are limited into TQO. They can fly out. They can pick you up at TQO. So that's one. They're limited in Tulum specifically, meaning they literally were like, okay, this is your hotel. We can't go that far into Tulum. We're not authorized to drop you off at your hotel. We can drop you off here at this hotel, and then you have to take a taxi the rest of the way because we can't go that distance. We're not authorized.
Are they Cancun based?
They are. So the driver,
get it.
the driver came from Cancun to Tulum's airport, picked us up there.
So it's a certain mileage. He can't go outside.
No, they just said we're not authorized to drop off at this hotel. Granted, that hotel is weeks old.
So it's brand new,
But-
it's in a zone that's kind of.
The zoning in Tulum is all over the place. They're building and building and building and building. Everything is a new zone every other week. People don't know what they can do, what they can't do.
Very true.
So they're just protecting their business.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So we had to get dropped off at a different hotel and then get a taxi to take us to our hotel with our luggage and everything.
That's insane.
It was insane. Like, it's such a commitment
So
to fly into this airport.
We had to cab to that pickup spot.
Yeah, on the way back, I said, forget it. I just caught the cab or the large van to pick us up at the hotel and just take us the whole way. And I'll circle back on a credit of some sort or something.
Yeah, with 𝗏𝒻𝒔. Yeah.
Because I was like, this is a lot. You know, when you're going, you're gung-ho. You're like, F it. Like, whatever it takes.
When you're ready to go, you're ready to go. Yeah. It's like, I'm not making the 2-stop to get to the airport and it's only chips here. Like,
facts. So,
interesting.
TQO is interesting.
Interesting. Very good to know.
Yeah. So I did that for y'all.
Book at your own risk.
Not for me, because I would never do all that for me.
Yeah, that's
it's too
crazy.
darn much.
Yeah.
I did that for y'all.
Yeah.
To have the information.
That layer of the transportation. I mean, the airport alone is a lot, but I get it. But you can't take me to where I need to go, and I got to catch another ride.
And I didn't have an other option.
It's crazy.
Because, like, my normal people was like, we can't pick up here.
At all. Yeah.
We not cleared for that airport yet.
That's crazy.
Crazy. So, yeah, TQO at your own risk.
Still figuring it out. Still figuring it out.
Top Mexico tip to share.
For me, it is avoid Margaritaville. It's so tempting. I mean, I guess it kind of ties in with the vendors, like, you know, the transportation.
Yeah.
Just stay focused. Like, you know, just stay focused. Stay focused.
Oh,
like,
that
you'll get a drink
margarita
at the resort. It's fine.
If this is your first time hearing about this Margaritaville, the margarita
$60.
is like $60.
It's bad.
And you really gotta just be committed.
Yeah, you do better just buying a drink on a flight. Like, you know, if you really trying to like
get lit
in the transportation, you do better like buying many shots on a flight and just tossing it in your carry-on for the transportation, because that Margaritaville is not it.
Child, bless their hearts, because they racking it up every time we there. The people are sitting there,
and I get it. Like, you know, you waiting for your ride. Then a lot of times you pre-book and they're still like, we're 10, 15 minutes away. Blah blah blah. You're like, what am I gonna do now? Besides being harassed by these people, let me go over here in a secluded area. No,
yeah,
avoid it.
I got two. One, check the freaking dress codes, please.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I just seen it too many times. People get turned away.
Saudi, yeah.
It's not a thing.
Feeling when you're hungry.
Yeah, because you just want to eat. My second one, do as I say, not as I do. Pay that tax. Because I don't know when they coming for me. I got to do better.
At least you paid it once.
I'm in the system. I don't know.
Like, at least they got you in the system. If they really wanted something, they got your card.
Just charge me.
It once. I was like, I'm gonna see how serious they are.
We don't know, but don't find out either.
Yeah, don't exactly be better than us. Pay that tax because it is a requirement according to
the signage.
Yes.
And the website. It's on there.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere, but yet no one's asking. I don't know. Oh, Lord. Mexico, you can do no wrong in my book, though.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
I know, except for TQL. I'm sorry.
I'm cool off that. I love Tulum, though. Tulum's such a vibe, but it's just like, it's such a headache.
That airport was a lot. That was a lot. It was a lot. Ciao. Well, wherever you're going in Mexico, you already know we got you. Or if you didn't know, but now you know today.
Period.
Jasmine and I are both a part of Travel Goddess International, which is a full-service travel agency that can assist with bringing your next Mexico getaway to life.
Exactly. So whether you're going to Mexico or anywhere in this world, we got you covered. Visit travelgoddessintl.com and we will get you on your way.
Period. And it's time for the travel deal of the week.
Ooh.
I know. Exciting times. Actually, nope, this ain't the travel deal either.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to update it again. Hold on. Where's my phone at? Jasmine was excited.
I got so excited.
I think this one's still valid, though, but I feel like we did that one. Let's see here. Travel deal of the week. 5 days and 4 nights this summer in
summer travel.
Rome. Yes.
To Italy.
I know. So we got mid-August. I know. This is actually really good. Mid-August, 5 days and 4 nights. United Airlines flights. Come on, somebody. 1.5 hour layover both ways.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Departing from Philadelphia. Okay, now look, she done sat back in her seat.
Stressing me out. And I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just like listening.
I know, it's so good. Staying at 4-star hotel accommodations, the H10 Roma Citta. Standard double with breakfast. Come on now. We snapping low key. All of that. And it's in the summertime, guys. In the middle of August. All of that. $1,300 a person.
Oh, wow.
And again, if you've been around here and you know summer in Europe,
So good.
this is a steal because summer in Europe is an $1,800 minimum per person. It's a lot. Europe's on summer break. We're on summer break. Everyone's visiting.
Oh my God. And that mid-August, like that's such a good time. The weather is great.
So right around that Virgo season time.
Come on now. That's what, my mind immediately went to, mid-August, Rome? For me?
Yep. So 5 days
great.
and 4 nights in Rome. 4-star hotel accommodations at the H10, which we know H10 is a part of Ocean, which we feature often. $1,300.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Can't beat that. And United flights out of Philly. With an hour and a half layover
to Rome.
So good. Oh my goodness. FCO. Yep. So this is how much I love y'all. That's a standard deal.
That's a good one.
I know. So you don't necessarily have to book a membership or purchase a membership, but you definitely should, because y'all already know if that's hitting like that, that premium, that premium doing its big one.
Yeah. Get you outside this summer.
Period. So if you're interested in that travel deal or any of our travel deals, definitely click the link in the show notes to browse our options, or just again visit our website, travelgoddessintl.com, and we got you. And there is absolutely brunch
in Rome.
So it is time to get brunchy. Full bottle of wine.
This week's brunch report is actually in New York as well. So this is, I'm probably saying this wrong. 𝗬𝒂𝒃𝒃?
Sveta.
Is that Polish?
Maybe.
𝗬𝒃𝒃.
Or Russian.
Or Russian. Yeah.
Maybe.
Sveta. Gorgeous is what it is. It is
Gorgeous is what it
beautiful. It's floral. Like, y'all know me. I love a cute, like, aesthetically pleasing brunch. So it's flowers falling from the ceiling, like a gorgeous floral ambiance. But they do bottomless.
We love bottomless.
$65. Comes with your entree. They also have some really gorgeous cocktails. Like they have like a disco ball cocktail. They have like a
presentation cocktail.
Beautiful presentation with like a Greek goddess cocktail where it has like a head and the full setup. So the cocktail presentation look amazing. But bottomless. Y'all know we love a good bottomless. $65 including the food. Can't beat that.
Yes.
And then you get you a cute little fancy cocktail on the side. And pictures. That's really why we go.
Yeah. Anytime the bottomless includes a bite to eat.
Yes.
I'm
Can't
in there.
go wrong. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in there regardless, but I'm really in there.
They check all the boxes. They got bottomless, gorgeous place. The food is included. And they got some cute little cocktails on the side.
Yes. Dang, man. I just
York.
don't understand how New York is up the street and we can't.
We going soon. We'll see y'all soon. Hopefully. No, we are. We're going to have a TFS takes NYC soon.
We got to. Just take the team. We out.
Yeah.
Y'all want to know where we at? We outside.
And y'all gotta be outside this summer.
Please, because at this juncture, you got the travel deals, you got the brunch places.
No, it's not summer yet. Next month, June.
Yeah, June.
But we almost there.
We almost there.
And the
it's
weather
like,
says it's summer.
At this juncture, you got the checklist. Take all of these and just make that your summer routine. This is actually dope. You should really just do this. Like every weekend, try to knock off one of the brunch abroads. That would be a lit summer.
I was thinking about that when I woke up today. I was like, dang, it's so many brunches we've done. What is this, like episode 50 something? Like I'm like,
I think this is 57
brunches that we like. And some of them I've been to, but a lot I haven't. And I'm like, that would be a dope brunch list. Maybe we should compile that. Do y'all want that?
Drop it in the comments.
Do y'all want a brunch list? Let
or brunch tour.
Yeah, let us know.
Because we down. Now, granted, we will be down on the floor.
Okay.
I'm not trying to do all these darn brunches, bottomless brunches, but we got you.
Yeah, I think that would be decent.
That would be really cool. I'm down if y'all not.
Little brunch crawl.
That would be so cute. TFS brunch
I
crawl.
love that.
Purr.
Coming soon, maybe.
Yes, drop it in the comments. Let us know if you're going to pull up, okay, before we do the work to pull it together.
And where we need to come. If y'all here, cool. Where y'all at? We'll come.
Let us know. Yes. Last but not least, question of the day. Question of the day, Jasmine. What is your favorite destination to recommend for solo travelers?
That's a great question.
I know. And the reason it's a question of the day because someone asked me this recently.
What's your answer?
I gave them a top 5, as I always do, because I can never just give people
What are they?
like one answer. Top 5, no particular order. Amsterdam, Portugal. What did I say? My list was strong. I gave it to them. I definitely said Amsterdam and Portugal. I want to say I said, I think I had Honduras on there.
Okay.
I enjoyed my solo trip to Honduras. Dang, man, my list was so strong at the time. Well, that's 3.
That's 3. Those are great. I immediately went Europe. Like my mind went to Europe because I went to Paris alone, and I think Europe in general is great for a solo trip because you just kind of get to immerse yourself in so many different things. So if Paris isn't somewhere on your bucket list, I would say anywhere in Europe.
Your Paris solo trip looked so
good.
great.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I was just so proud.
I'm just
my
like, look at
popcorn,
me.
just watching her story.
Look at me in
Look
Paris
at
by
her
myself.
go.
Which I would say is far fetched. So that's why I'm like, I would also say somewhere local. Like, like I say, pick your favorite city or whatever it is that that if it's something, an activity or a game or a concert or something that's coming up, and kind of using that to kind of ground you. Because that's how I fell in love with a lot of places that I've been to solo, is because I went there with a purpose and then like fell in love with the destination, just being there and exploring.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easy to start with a
If you have a
city
purpose,
or a nearby city or,
You gotta
something
go
like
to
that.
a work event or a networking event or something that can just kind of get you out your comfort zone and then exploring that city in its whole.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely take a solo trip. Treat yourself to that experience. And I say treat yourself, not even necessarily just like splurging or balling on a budget. I'm saying treat your mental,
To that
treat
experience.
your spirit to that experience
So
of being by
good.
yourself, enriching your life on your own terms.
Yes.
You're not
Living
checking the
your
group
own-
chat, telling people, hey, we're leaving at 8.
Eating what you want to eat, doing what you want to do, going where you want to go, no influences. If you want to stay in a hotel all day and order room service, that's what you choose to do.
That's what you chose to do.
Yeah.
No one's worried about it. No one's checking for it. It's your vacation.
Yeah. I remember one day I was on a solo trip and I literally just stayed in the hotel. And I was like, I love this.
Yes. Throw my robe on.
I went out, got
I'm
some
disconnecting.
food, came back. I ordered Uber Eats to the hotel. Like, I was chilling in that hotel.
And that's fine. That's what I'm saying. That's another thing where it's like, I do believe if you're solo traveling, pick a good hotel.
A comfortable environment.
Comfortable environment, a safe environment. I typically say, like, get a hotel that's a name brand, if you will, hotel. And when I say name brand, I'm not saying other hotels aren't, but I mean something under the Marriott umbrella, something
Hilton.
under the Hilton, something under the Hyatt, something under those big brands.
For sure.
Where the facilities are tried and true, and the security, there's staff, exactly. Because you're solo, and then also you have amenities, you have different things where you might not necessarily get all those at a boutique, but it's beautiful.
They also tend to have those, like, if you need a connection to a tour guide or to a program, like they have that information. At the front
concierge
desk
and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to your point, you can stay in a room all day.
Do what you want.
That's what you want. It's your trip.
Just take the solo trip.
Right. So
I love
yeah.
that.
So those are my recommendations. Again, because I think those destinations are safe. They provide great experiences for solo, just things to do, places to eat. Like, it's just a whole vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah. Where would you guys recommend for solo travelers. Drop your destinations in the comments, your favorite ones. Let us know. Enrich our TFS family so that we can keep enriching you.
Yeah, and let us know because I need a solo trip. So let me know where I should go.
Ciao. Book the vacation.
Okay.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the episode on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, and follow us on socials. We are on TikTok and Instagram at 𝗓𝗏𝒊𝒊𝒂𝒄.
And of course, if you have a product or a service that you'd like to see featured on an upcoming episode of TFS, shoot us an email, info@𝗓𝗏𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒄.com.
Yes, and we have itineraries. So check out our travel itineraries. Obviously, we talked about a bunch of different things in this episode. So we have a bunch of destinations.
Yes.
I just mentioned that brunch thing. I might get y'all a little brunch list soon. But check out our itineraries for a bunch of different destinations that we discussed on the podcast and off. It'll be in the show notes.
Yes. Love it here, and we hope you do too.
That's a good way to get you outside. It's baby steps.
Yes. Like if someone's saying, here's the curated itinerary, go.
Look at it.
That's the step.
Start to imagine yourself there.
You have to envision yourself there, because I will say the hardest part about going somewhere is figuring out what you're going to do when you get there.
Yeah. I always, even before I plan a trip, I'm like planning what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Because
Like, what would I do there? How am I going to utilize this time? What's there?
you will be there, and then you'll be wasting time trying to navigate what is on the agenda today.
Yeah. Ordering Uber Eats in a hotel like me.
I feel like that's not bad though. If you solo,
That's a
like,
one and done. I'm not proud of that.
well, but you probably, you know when Uber is connected to Marriott, so she got Marriott points for the Uber Eats. I'm just saying.
Period.
But
And Delta points.
I was gonna
Is
say
that
it's
Uber, that's Lyft.
That's Lyft, but it's not bad. Like if that's how you chose
Live
to
how you
spend your
wanna
day,
live.
right? Don't there's that. Okay.
But I like to be outside. So
She
that's
likes to
not
be
normal for
outside,
me.
so she's condemning herself. But
That's
I'm
not normal.
saying I would do that and love my life.
Book the solo trip
Right.
into Mexico.
Into Mexico, because now you got the tools for success. Don't tell us we ain't never did nothing for you. Okay. I think that's our episode.
Yes.
All right, guys. Until next time. Bye.